Hey, it's Theresa with the Real Tea Talk podcast. And today we are talking to a young man who recently became licensed in real estate. And I know you want to know, how do we get started really, really quickly? How do we make this thing happen? Well, let me give you some credentials so that in case you need to verify who you're talking to, I'm going to give you my broker number, which is 2010-002720. This gentleman's name is Joe Holland, or Joseph Holland. I don't know. What do you prefer, Joe? Joe? Okay. I got Joe right here. Joe, we're going to dive right in. Go ahead and share, some of your experience because real estate's new for you.
Yeah. In 2019, I did a little bit on I did some wholesaling, so a little bit on the investor side. COVID happened, and those conversations were harder to have, more challenging with, figuring out the values of things when people are already getting way too much for their homes that were not good homes, not in good shape. But then started working for a home inspection company here locally, which gave me a very unique perspective and opportunity to sit down with all the top agents in Central Ohio. And then we had a lunch like I did with everybody else, or coffees or whatever. And that kind of sparked, and now I'm sitting here.
Here you are. Here he is. Yeah, I could see it in him. I mean, there's certain characteristics, not just, people have got to be relatable. One of the number one things in real estate is your relatability and your ability to connect with other people. And with Joe, it was an instant connection. I could have sat there and just had a conversation with him about everything under the sun for another 2.5 hours because we just had so many things we could talk about. And so talk to me about what happened after so we had that lunch, and then you went and took your courses right away. He was like...
Yeah, well, so I already kind of knew back in the fall before we met that I wanted to. I was talking with somebody else, things just kind of didn't vibe very well, and then we had our lunch, and then the It's Time to Own It event.
Yep, that part.
Which blew my mind, because first-time homebuyer classes are usually very depressing. There's like 5 whole people there, and there was 115,
107, 108, and then we didn't count after we ran out of chairs.
Yeah. So. And the energy was, and I was already sold before, and that just made me more excited. So I was like, I knew I was doing the right thing. And I took my courses, got it finished in 3 weeks. As fast as I think you can.
It's pretty fast.
I pushed myself to I was just excited.
Got it done.
Yeah.
So, and in the beginning, I try to tell agents when they're getting started, in the beginning, you gotta work. You gotta get this plane off the ground. And with anything, it's, if you're in put in an airplane and you're trying to get it off the ground, it uses like 50% of its fuel just getting lift off the ground. And in a business, it's the same thing, buddy. You got to put forth that energy. So what did we do?
I think somebody mentioned it earlier, but I mean, I treated it like what it is. It's a business.
Yes.
And we talked. I mean, I was in your ear as much as I could to figure out exactly all my concerns, questions, whatever. And that was the plan. I mean, it went from, hey, I'm going to have a 90-day plan to okay, it's going to be 2 weeks. I'm going to be full time. So very intentional, talking with you, you're coaching me, and then, putting in the work. I mean,
immediately we talked about, you got to get out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And you were listening to some of the training that I had purchased, already set up training so that you could kind of get the mindset. Yeah. Let's talk about mindset, because I think a lot of people don't understand it, and it's important. And one of the things you did right away was you went into your neighborhood, you created just a piece of literature, a piece to give out, a handout, and you introduced yourself as, I'm Joe, I'm the real estate agent. I just want to, or whatever you did, talk about that, because it's all mindset and training. You don't what? You don't just like all of a sudden become a real estate agent.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was it. I dug into the training, and, you know, it was like too perfect that you had resources willing to help people. And I was out here like, just, I'm like, I want to get my license. I want to change my life. I want to help people get homes and help people sell their homes, all that, you know, everything it encompasses. But yeah, listening to that, I don't like to sit still.
Yeah.
And so if I have an opportunity to help somebody, to help my family, whatever, I'm gonna do that. I mean, I do a lot of side projects for friends too. Like I do a lot of graphic design stuff for friends just randomly. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I printed up a neighborhood report, just what was selling over the last like few weeks, and gave them some stats, and just knocked on doors and just said, hey, here's some helpful information. Not really saying, hey, I'm Joe Holland, the realtor. You should sell your house. I should list it. Let me tell you why. Just kind of put information out there. People have questions, they'll ask me.
Yeah, and it's the energy. Because what did that do for your confidence when after you did it, then it gave you, you know, something to work with.
Yeah, I did. And I know, like, for me, I think I do things, and like I think I just go after things like that because at least I'll know that I put in the effort, you know. And if I sounded stupid at the first or second or third door, which I probably did, but like I'll get better at it. Cool. Like I hurt myself a little bit. I know what not to. Oh, that was dumb. I won't do that again. Just move past it and learn.
Failing forward.
Yeah.
Failing forward. That's what we call it. So what was one of the things that I think that from my perspective, watching you and having a front seat, front row seat in your growth is the daily calls, because we are on a call. Guys, the accountability is critical. So getting on an accountability call every single day, what do you say to that in terms of what should an agent try to do? Should they try to get on an accountability call, or what are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, unless you got your license to just not really do anything with it, don't worry about it. I mean, no big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal. But I'm very emotional recently because I'm hitting goals, and we're about to have some lifestyle changes, and none of that would have been possible without those calls.
Yes.
Are they uncomfortable? Yeah. Is it uncomfortable just for waking up and being on the phone at 8 o'clock? Sure, yeah. But it's important. You have to have that accountability. I mean, in anything you do, it's not like it's unheard of steps to success with any business. It's just what you hold yourself accountable to your goals. So.
Yeah, you hold yourself accountable. So we want to make sure we drop these nuggets so that in your real estate world, when you're trying to figure out why you don't see your next deal, you've got some people behind you, if not a personal coach or the mentorship within your own brokerage, where you can get somebody to hold you accountable and not just say, oh, you can do it tomorrow. It'll be okay if you do it tomorrow. If you continue to do things tomorrow never gets here. And what you do today, it changes. It's going to be whatever you're doing today. I can already tell you, whatever I see you doing today, I know what's happening in 90 days. So tell us, what was the turning point? Because for a moment there, it was work. It was just like, let's hurry up and let's put these reps in. Let's put these reps in. And you were calling it Realtor Bingo because you started to see.
Yeah.
He started to see, like, okay, we got one of these and we got one of those.
Yeah.
And, so share some of that.
All the different situations.
All the different situations and scenarios. Yeah.
Yeah, you want me to share those?
Well, you started out with for sale by owners, where you started making those phone calls, and then all of a sudden, pop,
Yeah, no, it just pays off. I mean, being consistent pays off, and if you're a real estate agent, you should probably be friendly with the phone. Just be comfortable with the phone.
Get comfortable
with it.
Yeah.
And it sucks every time you pick up for the first call.
Yeah.
But after that, it gets easier.
Gets easier, yeah, because we're not taking them personally.
Yeah.
Everybody has a right, even for sale by owners, to say, listen, I want to sell my house and act like a real estate agent because I don't want to pay a real estate agent if I don't have to. I think everybody is always looking for the deal, the discount. So you let them and see how,
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
Yeah, no, I'm there with you. I don't like to pay full price for nothing.
Right.
I've been in sales long enough to where you don't. But yeah, I mean, what would I say to those?
Yeah, so what do you say to them when you call them?
I meet them where they're at. Because I can relate with that. I mean, why would you hand over money to somebody for what you don't even know what they're going to do? Most of the times what happens is they're playing real estate agent, and it takes a certain type to be a realtor, I think. Like to be okay with flexibility and schedule and taking crazy chaotic situations and simplifying them, and like managing your schedule, knowing, having information. Like I worked in the inspection company for a little bit, so I can kind of talk to people about like what you're looking for in basements, what is and what isn't a concern, and talking with you and talking about figuring out like how to write a contract that wins deals. You
got to learn how to do that.
Yeah. So I meet them where they're at. It's my industry. It's your industry. It's my industry. So if they're stepping into the real estate realm, I want to offer them. It's gonna. I'll feel good at the end of the phone call, whether they hire me or not. At least I'm putting out good stuff out there.
Yes.
And so, at the end of the day, I'm still a human. So I'd rather be more helpful than not. And yeah, I mean, I'm kind of honest with them as well. Like I ask them why. Maybe did you not know a realtor? And see what they're doing. Just kind of let them know. Hey, get prepared. I'm not going to be the first or last agent that's going to call you. You're going to get agent calls. Most of them are going to be, telling you that you're dumb and you should list with them, which is a great strategy. And then, no. And then
he's being sarcastic.
Yeah,
it is not a great strategy, guys.
No, it's dumb.
Don't.
You got to stop doing it.
Yes.
And then, letting them, and then they're going to get the scammer calls, and then the investor calls, and the investor calls, and all. There's just a lot to handle. So, I just respect people where they're at, honestly, and then let them know. I let them know how it works from a real estate, from having qualified buyers, what my process is. And 99% of buyer's agents, correct me if I'm wrong, because it's my first year.
Yes.
But
first 6 months
is that we pull from the MLS when we go shop a buyer. They're fully qualified. We know what they want. So we go to the MLS and we see what's on there. And so I'm letting them know, hey, you're missing a huge chunk. They might already know, maybe they don't, but I want to let them know you're missing a huge, here's what happens. We have qualified buyers. And so you're not having to deal with someone's cousin's aunt, sister who's got some money somewhere and just this weird situation. You don't want to play this weird limbo with real estate. So,
right.
But yeah.
Yeah. So he's adding value, and that's really what it's about. He's adding tremendous value to the prospective homeowner who wants to sell their property. And eventually, we know statistically that something like 83% of them ultimately list their home.
Yeah.
And would you say that's a good percentage? I mean, 83%. So what do you have to do, and who do you need to be in order to stand in front of the crowd and make a difference and start winning some of these listings over so that you can, you can do your business and do your thing? Yeah,
I think probably one of the biggest things that I've told you this before, but it's like, I had originally in my head, like I said, I had a 90-day plan to go full-time real estate.
Yes.
It all of a sudden turned into 2 weeks.
I remember. I was there, yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, y'all weren't, but I was.
Yeah, and, you gave me some really good advice, wisdom. You said, I don't want you having anxiety about, bills and life and all that. You serve people, take care of people and serve them. And then if you got to do whatever to keep the lights on, you got to go Uber Eats, whatever, make sure your bills are paid, but take that energy and turn it to serving people.
Yes.
And man, that really flipped a lot of different switches inside of me. And it was the best life-changing advice I've had. So it was great. I mean, it was good for my energy, and that's probably why I got FSBOs quicker than that, because it's like, you know,
I'm gonna serve.
Yeah, I'm gonna serve you, whether you want to hang up on me and call me a jerk or dirty names or whatever. I'm still gonna feel good and smile when I hang up the phone. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's a lot more fun than sitting in an office. 9 to 5,
it flipped
Yeah.
like almost immediately.
Yeah.
So, and then you went from, you know, maybe 2 or 3 transactions that we could clearly see were coming, but then to 5 in 1 month.
Yeah.
Oh, you badass. Just straight badass. I mean, went from, you know, yes, he turned, and then all of a sudden, I mean, so if you can do 5 and you saw what it was, then you know you can do 10. It's just a matter of duplicating process.
Yeah, I would be letting myself down if I didn't do it. No, it's easily 10. I mean, very quickly I was like, oh my God, I'm building a team is on my, like having a team of people to share transactions with is in my radar already. I have to do this because I realized very quickly whatever I was doing, which is everything I'm sure we talked about, produced a lot of results.
Yes.
And so if I'm good at that, then I woke up after having 5 in contract and I was like, oh my God, like I have to successfully, you know, make sure all these transactions successfully go through and everybody is served and feels well taken care of and valued and all that. And so, yeah, I'm so ready to work with people in a team.
Yes,
now and all
yes,
that,
I keep telling him it's time to start looking at leverage, and we're gonna get all into leverage on another podcast. But just know that leverage is your next phase. And I know there's people out there like, you know, like one of my coaches, Ricky Caruth, who, I mean, he's like the Energizer Bunny. I mean, he just go, you know, and he'll tell you, I did 97 deals and with 1 assistant and she's not licensed, you know. Yeah. I mean, he does it like that. But let's talk about quality of life. Because when I went to go see him in Gulfport, Alabama, which is where he is, he's the free coach, guys. If you want to, you know, get some really good information, you can go to Ricky Caruth's website. He's 0 to Diamond. That's his program. He's free on all his online stuff, and you know it's a strategy. And he's built up quite the following. However, what I noticed, and he gives a very strong opinion about things. He's very simplified. He'll say, just go talk to homeowners. Just go talk to them, just go do it. Yeah, so, and that's true, but at the same time, you do want quality of life, right? And so you want to have some balance in that. Mm-hmm. And real estate can get to be morning, noon, night, morning, noon, night, 24/7. You can really keep yourself busy in the real estate world, especially having to do all the things you do to market your business, right?
Yeah.
So I just think balance is important.
Yeah.
So what do you say to that? Because I believe you're working to live a quality life. That's
100%. Yeah.
Not working just to work or to put money in the bank.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've never been at the bottom of anywhere I've worked, sales or marketing wise, and it's always been the end goal is to have that quality of life. And my life's already changed a lot. The fact that I get to do this, I'm just grateful for it. I'll work 12-hour days and be like so energetic and fall asleep, have real estate dreams and wake up and I'm like, wow. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of big goals. I mean, we want to do a lot of good stuff. We want to do a lot of stuff for us. We want to have quality of life for kids and generations after us. Like, my wife is a huge supporter. And so it's really about who's in your life. Like I have the team take a look and, I have my wife and family and, she's been right there with me. She's like, here's dinner, here's this, and it's just amazing. But yeah, it's really that quality of life. And, sometimes you do have to just be like, I've got 50 million things to do and I'm going to take an hour and I'm going to do absolutely nothing.
just nothing.
Maybe that's not the best advice. I have to do that. I don't know.
Sometimes you do.
That's what I do.
Sometimes you do.
I'm playing Batman on Xbox. Like I'm literally like I'm just like I'm not doing any. I'm gonna do something stupid. I'm gonna take a bubble bath or whatever.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
That's my favorite.
So yeah. But yeah, so it's just refreshing mentally, and that's good. And then you got clients that do the same thing. They're stressed out, and you're like, listen, take a break tonight. It's gonna be okay. Refresh. Tensions are high, emotions are high. Like we don't always make the best decisions from that place.
Right. Yeah. I think he's dropping some gold nuggets here. Well, I'm going to give you one, just ask that you share one gem with our audience and with those that are out there. If you're out there and you're in the real estate world and you're thinking about, how you can make your life better. And because there's a lot of people that drop out, it's 90% failure. I mean, that's just what it is. Maybe higher than that coming up here because it's a very unique market we're dealing with, right? So give at least one solid gem. You've given a bunch of good information. I just want you to end it with a solid gem. Spill some tea on whatever they need to know, whatever you want people to leave with. Share it. Go.
I guess I would say commitment. I mean, that's just kind of been in my heart. I guess what we've been talking is just commitment. I mean, full on commitment. If you commit to yourself, your business, your goals, what does that look like? Is it, turning off the TV or putting something positive in your brain? On the way over here, I was listening to an audiobook and, that he talks about that as well. It's if you're distracted throughout the day, you're looking at social media all day long, well, then you're committed to that. That's what you're spending your time on. So, yeah, commit. I mean, if that looks like, whatever that looks like for you, I mean, you can make little steps, but, making, like I knew before I got licensed, when I knew I wanted to get licensed, I was like, I'm going to study this. I didn't go to college. And I was like, I'm going to study this. This is going to be my skill. I want to fine tune this. And so I knew I wanted to commit. I think I got through with the schooling as quickly as you could. And, I was late for the test and I was wearing the wrong kind of hoodie. Mm-hmm. And so I had to run to Walmart after the test started, get a t-shirt, ran out the door of Walmart, changing shirts. My shirt fell in a mud puddle. I put it on anyway. I think the shirt said like Freedom Rocks or something. I was like, yeah, that's a good real estate shirt. Mm-hmm. and ran in there and took my test and aced it. So it's just, just be a little crazy about something. I mean, you're going to commit to something anyway. You might as well commit to yourself, whether it's real estate or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys, listen, thank you for joining us today. I hope you got some real solid gold nuggets out of our conversation. So tell them how they get in touch with you, because maybe, are you open to people getting in touch with you to learn, to maybe to grow? I don't know, maybe you mentor, I don't know, but how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, questions about anything. I'm open to all of it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. How they get in touch with you?
Anything social online, it's at Realtor Joe 614, and my number is 614-439-7159.
All right, y'all. Well, this is Theresa Barron, and I'm here with Joe Holland, and we just want to tell you thank you so much for joining us today. Like I said, I hope you got great nuggets. We'll be back. I'll be back on another episode of the Real Tea Talk podcast. We want to educate, activate, and inspire. So we'll see you on the next one. Take care.